I can't remember the first time I clocked you, or even whether it was actually more a creeping awareness than a flick of a switch moment. But I suppose at some point during my occasional streaming of your band's videos, I must have noticed you, so serene, self-possessed, so sexy, all deft-limbed at the drum kit. My hitherto benign crush goes into overdrive when I decide to watch you from afar when your band comes to town. And I swear our eyes meet. Afterwards on the train, I Google you, astonished that your personal Facebook page is the top result, and tentatively I click through your profile pictures to check it's truly you, before I hover my finger over the add friend button, retracting from and extending back towards it, hesitating to the extent that I have to keep the fingers still and touch my finger with the phone screen rather than the other way around. I fantasize and revel in daydreams of you, replaying the moments our eyes probably, definitely met in the sticky projector reel of my custard-like mind over and over and over and over, until suddenly you message. Hello. Which I see immediately. I know you're there on the other side. I got chills. They're multiplying. Ultimate butterflies, Curt, you exist. That was your fingertips on the other side of the message window, so we've basically touched, but now what do I say? Various scenarios involving taxis and hotels course through my head, but as well as practicalities, I start to question if you're which I interpret as perhaps curious, which I could interpret as flirtatious, is actually defensive. Who are you and why are you adding me on FaceB? Because maybe you're taken, partnered, betrothed, maybe you're knackered, maybe you're out with the band, maybe you don't know or care who I am, but I wonder, do you recognise me from the gig? Are you thinking, that's my brown-eyed gal, alright? Because I want to believe, oh, you call hello, and your hello resounds in the empty wishing well of our chat window. I see it, I know that you know I've seen it, and time is of the essence, because if I don't reply you might decline, so how should I respond? And I wonder, do you feel as keyed up, even in a bad way, as I? I start to type, conscious that you might be there on the other side, seeing the ... animation, seeing how long I'm taking to formulate some reason. A split second settle on a casual fellow musician vibe. I want to know about your gear, drummer boy. Hiya, was just at the gig and having a Google on the train about the drum pad, but can't find much, so I added you to say, nice one, because it was ace, but also, what is your gear? Or is it a secret? Lol, I make music and I really want to try liveify it, because totally reliant on laptop at the moment. I want to know what drum pad you use. I mean, I do, but I could have trolled the nerd forums for that info. Is it not clear that what I really want is to be yours, but that I couched it in technical curiosity to test the waters, to seem cool, to gauge the tone of your response? As much as my body is high on the love juice now coursing through it, as much as my womb wanders, I know in my mind of minds I'm being daft. Still, I'm a puppet on a string, Curt. I want you more than I want anything right now, but somehow not enough to just say it straight, it seems. You reply,
super simple. Look up Roland SPDSX. That's it.
Oh, that hurts. It's a closed response with an icy tone, although in a split second brimming with 1,000 fleeting daydreams I read SX as sex in the same way I fill in the gaps on license plates, but no, my soaring heart sinks, but I need to keep that momentum going. This rush is a crutch, so I'll write and write and write. Dear Curt, firstly, let me apologise for what to you must have seemed an out-of-the-blue friend request. I'm not yet decided on whether I'll send you the following, but I suppose you actually messaging me really caught me off guard. Yes, I don't know you, and yes, you were right to scout that out before accepting a friend request from me. Why indeed did I add you? It certainly wasn't to ask you about your drum pad. The truth is, the whole evening, during which I attended your gig in Leeds and became convinced that my attraction to you was somewhat reciprocated by the fleeting eye contact I think we maybe shared, has left me high and dry. Now I'm back from the gig, unable to sleep despite my best attempts to put it out of my mind and calm down. I found myself with no alternative but to sit here and write to you. How did I come to be at the gig in Leeds on this cold November day? I wasn't that arsed, because I figured I could do what I sometimes do and watch recordings of live performances from the comfort of my bed or sofa, where I'm free to sink into the rhythms, free to get off on watching you, worlds away from the bodies which blur into one hostile mass in a live scenario. I'd been teaching at the art college next to the venue and had seen your tour bus at lunchtime. Well, by seen I mean I perambulated said venue's perimeter with the vain hope that I'd chance upon the fit drummer, aka you. I think I once spotted Father John Misty having a fag on that street, but in hindsight it might have just been a roadie. I went alone and queued from 7 p.m. and was almost at the very front of the stage within 20 minutes. Stood before me was a couple who could have moved half a foot to the left and freed up some space for me to lean on the barrier to the right. I was going to go for it and stand there anyway, but it worked out okay, because I could see you perfectly through the soft aperture formed by their sloping shoulders and adjoined upper arms. I feel for you having to tour, to play those beats to whoops and screams night after night, and whilst I was certainly immersed in the music and attuned to the chemistry you were transmitting, I couldn't take my eyes off you. I'm sure you looked back, but maybe it was just a glitch in your ambivalent crowd scanning? I feel like there's something deep at play here, and if it feels so strong to me, there's no way you didn't feel it too, right?